high mud conditions as well, standing water. In this particular area, before the tree lines, before we get into the trees, this is typically very muddy, or where there has been standing pools of water since the HOA also received the drain field. We can see that this area here is muddy, and along here where the lateral lines extend all the way south to the very end of the drain field, muddy conditions, lots of erosion. We can see by the movement of topsoil and the leaves as they head down towards the creek area. We can also see high areas, low areas where lots of topsoil has been lost. That area right there by the trees, it's very muddy. Over here it's the same way, conditions are the same, very muddy conditions. You can see which way the water runs because the way the leaves are all stacked up, and the water heads over here towards another entry point into Mustang Creek. The only work that's been done here is to repair leaks, but the top coverage to the system has not been identified. You can see here the pipes sticking out. Depending on how much rain we have and whatnot, you may see one or several pipes as the soil moves along this area. Along here, see several pipes in. As I walk this way, it's muddy, a little bit of standing water. The amount of grass and how well it grows is an indication where we have standing water typically all the time. And I'm walking just past this way along the property fence line just to give you an illustration of how much standing water there is in the south part of the drain field. Quite extensive. And right there you can see where we have lots of erosion by the leaves and the dirt and debris when it rains here, and that this has occurred since this drain field was built over 12 years ago, I believe. But lots of mud that I'm walking through on the south side. You can see more erosion as it occurs, and how much topsoil has literally been removed from our drain field in through these trees, our drain field lines. And there are several areas here within the drain field where we do have line exposure. The soil has, that much of the soil has been removed, or some of the tree life has been uprooted the drain field. In January 2014, in this treed area was heavy bush. We understand, because we were not given any plans for the septic system, we understood, or I understood, as the HOA president, that the drain field ended there at the tree line. When in fact, when they repaired some of the leaks in the drain field, in the lateral lines, we discovered that the drain field extended all the way to the last home. And so we removed, well, we didn't remove it, Chesma removed years of growth in these trees, in high grass, that had never been removed for I don't know how many years. So this entire part of the drain field was completely neglected. And the HOA, once the shrubbery and high grass and vines and all those other things that were there were removed, the HOA has maintained this. You can see right here, this is one of the lateral lines, how close it is to the surface. This is just one area. Here's another length of lateral line. that is exposed. You can see how the water moves down through the drain field. See another area of standing water over here. Muddy conditions. I'll turn this way. You can see some other areas where the water has moved, and it moves down into the creek over there. But you can see the amount of topsoil erosion that has occurred in this drain field as a result of rain and weather over many years. This is a muddy area. And you can see the areas of standing water. Areas where I'm standing on a mound of dirt, and you can see maybe a 2-foot drop where the drain field is highly unlevel. But more standing water. Here's another, this is the most southern end of the drain field, and you can see that we have standing water in another low area. When they repaired the leaks, this is a new area, a few months old. When they repaired the leaks, it stopped the pooling that was down at this end. And it's just muddy. It's not as, we still have a little standing water, but nothing like what it used to be. But the drain field comes to this somewhere down here, the lateral lines. But the lateral lines run from this point all the way through the trees to our wastewater system, all the way down this property line here, as indicated by the flags or the wire fence. But areas of standing water, heavy mud conditions. And the high growth of vegetation here. It's been, I don't know, 10 days since this was cut. Due to the rain and the amount of effluent that's pushed through here, this is a high growth area. But to maintain this drain field in these kind of conditions is very, very difficult for the landscaper, merely just due to the obstacles of avoiding the mud. A lot of hand weed whacking has to be done to keep this under control. Mud conditions throughout here, behind these homes. Standing water from this point of view. This was another area that was dug up. I was able to see when they were trying to repair some lines. This has been an area of high standing water for, well, since the HOA has taken possession of the drain field. And the lateral lines were about 2 inches below the surface. But this is an area, about the whole area. It's muddy, or there's standing water in this entire area. I'll just walk over here to give you a little view of the muddy conditions, or how wet this area is over here as well. The length of grass is an indication of how saturated this area is all the time. Standing water all the way over here near the system, One of the complaints that our residents also talk about is the smell that comes from our wastewater treatment system here. It's in this system here. I'm not sure what we can do about that. We've mentioned that. But I just mentioned that here on the video. Again, this video is shot on the 25th of May, 2015, around 10 a.m. in the morning. It did not rain last night. It did not rain all day yesterday or the evening before. And so we've had almost 48 hours of no rain conditions. And so this video is not being taken right after a rainstorm or anything like that. Just to illustrate where we are today with our drain fields and the condition in which they are in. And what the HOA is requesting of Chesmar to put in a condition that it should have been put in, or the HOA should have received in January 2014. Again, this video is shot by, and the videos previous to this, taken this day, were shot by Mark Hernandez, the HOA president for the villas at Timberwood.